Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So, we are Group 9. We are Catherine Nariño, Mario Ferrer, Juan Pablo Londoño, Santiago Palacios, and Camilo Vargas. And today, we are going to present you about Jugos Hit. Jugos Hit is a Colombian product of fruit juices that was created in 1947 from the Postobon Company that has 25 plants of production and 46 distribution centers all around the country for all their products. This is a non-alcoholic beverage and it belongs to the soft drinks market and it's also on the business to consumer market. This is a product that it's aimed for all kind of customers as it contains over 4 different kind of flavors, 4 different presentations and a line of sugar-free juices. It is also really important to say that Jugos Hit is always adapting to the needs of its customers. Jugos Hit also have a social program called Hit Social, and the idea of this program is to guarantee to the producers that live on the countryside the purchase of 80% of their production. So in that way, they create jobs while they raise their fruit production and improve the fruit quality. The vision of the company is to be a Latin American company with its own operations in the continent, recognized for its dynamism in innovating, developing, and offering quality non-alcoholic beverages, penetrating other markets and venturing into other product categories. The mission of the company is to strengthen leadership in the development, production, marketing, and sales of non-alcoholic refreshing beverages to satisfy the tastes and needs of consumers, exceeding your expectations through innovation, quality, and excellence in service. We generate opportunities for professional and personal development, relying on human talent, organizing teams around the processes. We work with suppliers to make them our business partners. We contribute decisively to the economic growth of the Ardila Lule organization and the country, acting responsibly towards the environment and society. Okay, so here we have the segmentation table, and we divided it into 5 different segments, which are young kids, teens, middle-aged persons, adults, and seniors. And we also used 5 parameters that we considered really useful, which are the demographic segmentation, the usage rate, the lifestyle, the income, and also the level of involvement. And within this segmentation table, we can see that the segment 1 and segment 2 are the ones that consume a higher volume of the product. And this can also be because on many of the marketing campaigns that Jugos Hit have made, they are mainly focused on young kids and also on teens. The target market that we consider was made by Jugos Hit in 2020 to the segment 1 and 2 because as we can see those are the segments that drink more often juice than the others, and this is influenced by their lifestyle and also because of the marketing campaigns that were made for these specific segments. And in the first segment, even though they have a really low income, we have to take into account that this specific segment depends from others financially. But on the other side, the segment 2 have more income, but they prefer lower costs over quality.
Smart objectives. By 2020, Postobon plans to get to 26% of its fruit distribution to come from the Hit Social program. By 2020, with the Tienda a Tienda plan, Postobon hopes to get to 300 clients from informal stores looking to support the most vulnerable population in Colombia. Keep diversifying the product portfolio as in 2020, 87% of Postobon sales volume came from low sugar drinks and 52% from drinks other than sodas. From 2019 to 2020, increased by 70% the investment on social environmental issues. As market trends change, HIT's goal is to select from its wide range of products and specialize on those that promote healthy living standards and strengthen the immune system. One of its main goals is to control at least 5% of the soft drinks market by 2020. Another goal is to represent at least 10% of the juice market in Colombia by 2020. These objectives are according to SMART, which means that they are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound.
Now we're going to present the internal analysis regarding the HIT products and the current marketing strategy. The 7 P's are product, promotion, price, place, people, process, and physical evidence. Regarding the first P, that is product, HIT juices have a unique taste, variety of flavors, and presentations. The main strategy is to provide a product and have a recycling packaging called Tetra Pak, for which the company is responsible for collecting and then converting into desktops. Thus, the company communicates their consumer that they are having positive contribution and responsibility towards the environment. Additionally, the second P refers to how the company promotes their innovations using marketing communications. Their main strategy is to publish their new products or flavors in different platforms like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and on television, which is their most important platform. Furthermore, they use promotions to incentivize consumers to try new products. And their products have an affordable price. For example, a pack of 4 boxes costs 5,700 and a box of 12 costs 11,500, which is a similar price compared with the competitors. Regarding place, they have a good distribution and promotion and production area because their clients can find their products easily as they are available at almost all market chains. However, they also sell their products online, but their website should be improved because it is hard to understand. Therefore, regarding the main 4 P's, the company does a good job of promoting their social and environmental commitment through their products, but they can upgrade the packaging and the website, which are outdated. According to the other 3 P's, we are going to emphasize on the customer service and the page through which people can buy their products or communicate in case they have any inconvenience without intermediaries between the customer and the company. As these P's are implemented especially in services. So, regarding people and process, this company tries to convey to customers that when the company grows, everyone in their value chain develops as well. As an example, the program HIT Social, which focuses on building medium and long-term relationships with agribusiness based on trust and commercial exchange. Additionally, imperative for companies that want to develop inclusive business practices. And finally, they have 2 exclusive telephone lines to carry out customer service or in case someone wants to make a claim or complaint. Regarding physical evidence, there are a variety of packaging made of plastic, glass, and carton that aligns with customers' needs.
Now we will introduce the macroenvironmental trends through a pastel model. First of all, in the political aspect, we can see that government is increasing in interest to reduce sugar consumption and obesity, especially in the young population. To achieve this, they introduced a 20% tax on the public price of the sugary drinks. In this case, it affects heat because, well, it is a sugar drink and it's included in this tax. In the environmental trends, we can see that nowadays it is quite important to enterprises to recycle. So what he is deciding to do is to do this through their packaging. They now use Tetra Pak and Ecopte material so they can keep it light, and it's easier to reuse these kind of materials. Now, with the Ministry of Environment saying that enterprises should recycle, they have to do this as a law. Now with the new law that says enterprises cannot use one single use plastics, what is going to happen with the straws of the juices? So they are going to have to adapt to obey this law. In the social aspect, we can see that, well, due to the pandemic, many students are in virtual classes and no lunch boxes are needed nowadays, which was the main, uh, the most important event to the brand, because the most amount of sales were to students who kept these juices in their lunch boxes. So, well, it is an aspect that have to be taken into account. So to adapt. Also, many health concerns are arising in our society uh, to the things we eat and drink. So many people are moving towards a completely real food with no additional sugar. And so, well, it is important to adapt also to this movement of the market. Also, 9.9 million kids and teenagers were in lockdown, so it is an important aspect to take into account because they're not consuming as much as they did before. In the technological aspect, we can see that people are starting to buy through delivery apps instead of going to the stores. So Heat has to keep up with this trend and start selling through this media. Also, many of the marketing advertisements are taking place in the social media. So Heat has to keep up with these also and uh, start promoting their products in social media apps. In the in the economic aspect, we can see that unemployment in 2020 was of 15.9%. So in general, the Colombian population has less purchasing power. So it is important to watch if they are gonna give priority to buying Heat, or instead are they gonna buy fruits which are cheaper and start doing juice at home. It is important to take this into account. And in the laws, the Ley Semáforo Red Papas is a law that says these kind of brands have to, in the packaging, they have to say that, to be careful that that was a sugary drink and it was not healthy. So well, it has to do this, and it is important because now people are starting to be more aware of what they're consuming. And well, health concerns are making people buy less and less sugary drinks. Now we will talk about the external analysis of the brand. First of all, Hugo's Heat belongs to the soft drinks market, and more specifically to the juice market. Both are competitive markets with more than 25 brands operating in them. Well, now analyzing the soft drinks market, we can see that in 2020, 4,155 million liters of soft drinks were sold, 4% less than in 2019. Of these overall sales, 12.02% of the sales were of juice, and in the overall soft drinks market, it represents 5.6% of the sales, which is a lot. Now, well, more specifically in the juice market, in 2020, they were 50 million liters of juice sold, 8% less than in 2019. This sums up to 2 trillion Colombian pesos, 9% less than in 2019. The juice market is divided into three: the 100% real juices, the ones that are up to 24% juice and have other chemicals and sugars, and the nectars. The of the 85.72% of the sales of juice are the ones that are up to 24% juice, in which heat is involved. 46.6% of the juice sales belong to heat. Now, talking about the market potential, we can see through the graphs that the amount of sales is decreasing of soft drinks is decreasing year by year. So it is declining in sales. It is important to take this into account so it can adapt their operation. They're having every year they're having less and less percentage of sales, and we can see that the forecast says it's not gonna be different for the next couple of years. Well, now we know that the distribution taking place for the sales of heat, the most amount of sales are taking place in small stores in the neighborhoods, 85% of them, more specifically. So it is an important to take this into account and act with this information, starting to distribute in these small stores. Well, also factors to take into account is that the market is moving towards 100% use, and people are buying more national juices than imported. And nowadays, people are starting to seek products to strengthen their immune system. So, if there exists a way for it to include this in their products, would be of great benefit for them. Well, as we talked about the partitioning of the brand, the overall drinks market is divided by two: the alcoholic drinks and the soft drinks market. In the soft drinks market, there are other markets such as tea, soda, water, energy drinks, sport drinks, and the one we're starting, that is juice. And juice is divided by two: the 100% juice or the up to 24% juice, and there is also a small portion of the juice market that is the nectars. Now we will talk about the competitors of Heat. As we saw before, Heat dominated the market with 46.6% of the sales of juices, and then goes Del Valle with 12.5% of the sales of the market. Fruto is also an important competitor to take into account with 3.2% of the market. Out of the three we are discussing, the cheapest one is Del Valle with 3.92 pesos per milliliter. Then goes Heat with 5.9 pesos per milliliter, and then Fruto with the most expensive one with 8.28 pesos per milliliter. Which is what is interesting about the other brands is that Del Valle has the most amount of flavors. They have a lot of variety, and they're adapting their product constantly. They're introducing combinations of different juices, and they're innovating in their image constantly also. But Heat has only 6 flavors. But what is essential to Heat is that they have a sugar-free line, and this is important due to the trends that are taking place in the market. Fruto has only 3 flavors, but they have nectar juices and they have sugar-free line also. So Heat should have more variety of drinks if they want to stay competitive and start introducing new images of the brand.
So now we're going to talk about the SWOT analysis that includes the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that Heat as a brand are facing right now. Firstly, in the strengths, we identified some characteristics that make Heat a better brand than other competitors, or some advantages that they have over others. For example, we chose that Heat has the ISO 9001 certificate, which is an evidence of high quality of product and also a high quality of management. Also, the brand is really well positioned nationally in Colombia, and it is backed up by one of the country's biggest companies, that is Postobon, that has many sponsorships and other outlets that bring, well, income to Heat. Also, it has a wide variety of juice flavors and sizes that accommodate to what all the customers' needs. And also, it has lots of publicity outlets. Now, in terms of weaknesses, it is not very well positioned internationally. The company is mostly based in Colombia, but hasn't made an effort to expand in other countries in South America, for example, or Europe. And also another weakness is that a majority of the population decides to consume carbonated drinks over these juices. Now, having said that, some opportunities that the brand has right now is to create production in other countries in order to expand the product internationally. And also, they can do this by developing an innovative campaign in order to succeed abroad. Now, some threats we identified that are very, very promising and important for the company are false advertising within the company or within the marketing department that damages the product's image. Also, the global pandemic has reduced efficiency on production and delivery. There is also strong competition in the industry, for example, taking Coca-Cola as an example, and the introduction of another worldwide renowned brand to the industry in Colombia. Finally, in the conclusion, we want to show the main issue or marketing problem we identified. And this is the false advertisement problem that HIT suffered in 2020. So what is it about? Well, Postobon was fined in 2020 by the Superintendents of Industry and Commerce in Colombia for false advertising in 2020, as in their publicity advertisements, they were making claims that were proven to be false. Some examples of these claims were that they sold real juice or that it made people stronger, which were proven to be false. These were some examples, but there were many more statements that, ended up in the fine. And why is this an important topic to address in terms of marketing and in the brand? Well, firstly, the reputation is being deeply harmed by this problem, and it is making customers to transition from our product or Postobon's product to more natural or 100% sugar-free products. It also will have harsh effects on the brand's present and future. And the focus area we identified the problem being on was the understanding of consumer behavior. As HIT needs to know that people nowadays are becoming more healthier and are trying to consume less processed foods and also taking care of their own life by doing exercise, and doctors don't recommend drinking these types of juices. So instead of making claims that are really evidently false, they should really do a study on their consumers right now and what are their trends in the present in order to adapt the product to the changing times. And that is basically our conclusion on the main marketing problem that HIT is facing right now.